St. Kitts and Nevis.
From the VON Newsline, this is the VON Major Newscast.
Good evening, I am Jarvis Barney with your VON Major News Package for today, Friday, March 20th, 2020. In our lead stories nationally, COVID-19 Department of Maritime Affairs issues statement urging boat operators to take necessary steps, and the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party urges Team Unity government to seek assistance from overseas. Regionally, Jamaica records first coronavirus death. Internationally, coronavirus, Italy's death toll overtakes China's, and in sports, Oklahoma City Thunder players and staff all test negative for the coronavirus. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
To the national news in detail. In light of the COVID-19 pandemic, the risk of infections remains very high for St. Kitts and Nevis. With respect to the above mentioned, the Department of Maritime Affairs strongly urges all captains and crew of passenger ferries, water taxis, catamarans, dive boats and sport fishing vessels operating in the coastal waters of St. Kitts and Nevis to take immediate steps to prevent and reduce the risk of the coronavirus. According to a release from the ministry, these steps must include but should not be limited to having the necessary equipment, namely face masks, napkins, tissue and gloves in case someone is showing symptoms on board such as coughing, sneezing, runny nose, etc. Additionally, hand sanitizers and effective cleaning agents, wiping and cleaning of seats and frequently touched areas on board after each trip, and ensure less crowding on board as far as possible or create more space as practicable per passenger. In the midst of the coronavirus disease outbreak, which has been declared a pandemic, leader of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party SKNLP, Dr. the Honourable Denzel Douglas, has urged the Team Unity-led administration to seek aid from overseas. Last Thursday, during the party's press conference, SKNLP's candidate for constituency number 8 in St. Kitts, Dr. Terence Jew, made a similar plea to the government to seek the assistance from Cuba. Dr. Douglas made this statement.
Where there are gaps and shortcomings, we're asking that the government seek help from our friends and partners in Taiwan, in Cuba, and around the Caribbean region, which can provide the additional technical, logistical, and material and technological support.
Dr. the Honourable Denzel Douglas. Cases of the virus have been recorded in Antigua and Barbuda, Aruba, the Bahamas, Bermuda, Cayman Islands, Cuba, Curacao, the Dominican Republic, French Guiana, Montserrat, Barbados, Guadeloupe, Guyana, Martinique, St. Bartholomew or St. Barts, St. Lucia, St. Martin, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Puerto Rico, Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela, Barbados, Jamaica, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. 4 persons in the Caribbean have died so far from the disease. Private stakeholders in St. Kitts and Nevis answer the call of the federal government to support initiatives that can protect against the transmission of COVID-19. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris commended the public-private sector partnership. One contributor is entrepreneur Ridgewell Francis of St. Kitts Marine Works, who donated a thermal scanner to assist with screening efforts at entry ports. Mr. Francis also has offered 2 properties that can be utilized by the Ministry of Health to quarantine persons. Prime Minister Harris added that the RAMS group of companies has pledged 2 mechanical ventilators. SL Hosford and Company Limited has donated a supply of N85 face masks, and the Chamber of Industry and Commerce has pledged support for the public awareness campaign using various media platforms. Flow has agreed to partner with the authorities to create a hotline where information and other useful messages can be shared with callers. Digicel and Flow will facilitate online learning for local students if schools close due to an outbreak of the pandemic. Residents and citizens are asked to pay attention to the advice shared by health professionals, staying tuned to updates from official sources such as the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. Small contractors in St. Kitts are being given the chance to showcase their capabilities and skills by working on large-scale government projects, and Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris expressed his delight in the development. Prime Minister Harris expressed his pleasure at a ceremony on Wednesday, March 18th, where a total of 7 contracts were signed by 6 local contractors to commence roadworks across the island as part of Phase 2 of the island's main road rehabilitation project. The signing ceremony was held at the St. Paul's Sporting Complex. The upgrading of the island's main road, as well as the resurfacing program, represents the most comprehensive roadworks done in the country in the past 20 years. It will lead to the improvement of the road network, greater ease of travel and safety, and enhancements for pedestrian and vehicular traffic alike upon completion. The 6 successful contractors are Anthony Warner Construction, Clement Duncan, Morgan Construction Services, Prime Construction, Boonies Construction, and Real Works Construction. Prime Minister Harris further noted that the island's main road rehabilitation project, much like the Old Road Bay Rehabilitation Project and other major programs initiated by the Unity Administration, all form part of the government's agenda to create a better, stronger, and safer St. Kitts and Nevis. Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley will host his monthly press conference on Tuesday, March 24th at 10 a.m. It will be held at the Cabinet's room on the 2nd floor of the Social Security Building at Prinny's Estate here on Nevis. The Premier will provide an update on matters of national interest, and members of the press will also be afforded the opportunity to ask questions for the listening and viewing public. The press conference will be broadcast live here on Von Radio 860 AM as well as vonradio.com. The island's main road rehabilitation project moved into its 2nd phase on March 18th, following 7 contracts which were signed by 6 local contractors. Prime Minister Dr. John Timothy Harris stated that the management and coordination of the project is by local people, and commended the engineering, professional, administrative staff at the Public Works. During a ceremony chaired by Director of Public Works in St. Kitts, Mr. Cromwell Williams, it was also addressed by the Minister of Public Infrastructure, the Honorable Ian Patches Liburd, and Managing Director of ADEB Consultants, Mr. Martel Lee, who gave the vote of thanks. Dr. Harris described the day as a special one, noting that the signing of the contracts for the 2nd phase of the project was a continuation of the government's agenda. And all events and activities in observance of the World Water Day and the annual Water Week 2020, scheduled for March 22nd to the 28th, has been postponed until further notice. This comes from a release from the Ministry of Public Infrastructure et al., stating that this is a precautionary health measure due to health challenges associated with the COVID-19 pandemic. The Ministry wishes to assure all concerned that plans for Water Week 2020, which have been put on hold, will be implemented as soon as they are advised that it is clear to proceed. World Water Day, held on March 22nd every year since 1993, focuses on the importance of fresh water. World Water Day celebrates water and raises awareness of the 2.2 billion people living without access to safe water. It is about taking action to tackle the global water crisis, and the core focus of World Water Day is to support the achievement of Sustainable Development Goal number 6, water and sanitation for all by 2030. The theme for this year's observance is water and climate change. And that's it for our national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com, or you can check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
At the Bank of Nevis, we know you have your personal as well as your business needs, and we're here to help. Our knowledgeable staff will work with you to help you achieve the financial success that you or your company needs in a competitive market. We offer solutions to make your banking experience easier, like our savings and checking accounts. Be sure to ask about our youth savers accounts and our Bank of Nevis Go Club. We offer a wide range of personal loans, including mortgage, land, student, auto, and consumer loans. Have access to your funds instantly with our Be Online internet banking and our debit and credit cards. We make international banking and investing easy. How's your business? Give it the leverage it really needs by letting the Bank of Nevis assist you with all the necessary funding for all your business expenses. It's that easy. What are you waiting for? The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life.
Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Bank of Nevis.
Welcome back on the one to the regional news. The Jamaican government has reported that the country has recorded its first death from the coronavirus COVID-19. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dunstan Bryan, disclosed on Wednesday that the victim was a 79-year-old man who traveled to New York. He also had diabetes and hypertension. The elderly man was one of two patients who tested positive for the virus during the 24 hours preceding the announcement. Jamaica now has 15 confirmed cases of the virus. Bryan said the deceased had presented to the Lionel Town Hospital on Monday with fever, cough and shortness of breath. He was subsequently transferred to the Mandeville Public General Hospital, where he was isolated and treated and had showed signs of improvement on Tuesday. However, he died during the process of being transferred from the Mandeville Hospital to the University Hospital of the West Indies at approximately 3 p.m. on Wednesday. The man's passing brings to 4 the number of deaths attributed to COVID-19 in the region. 1 each was recorded in Guyana, the Cayman Islands, and the Dominican Republic. Out of Bermuda, the L.F. Wade International Airport will be closed from this evening. The seaport is closed to vessels other than cargo ships. Public transportation services have been suspended and schools have been closed after the country confirmed the first 2 cases of COVID-19. Premier David Burt announced at a press conference on Wednesday afternoon that the virus has reached the British overseas territory. The COVID-19 patients included one person who had arrived from the United States on American Airlines Flight 308 on March 4th, and another who arrived from the United Kingdom on British Airways Flight 2233 on March 6th. They became ill days after arriving in the island, but Burt said the cases are connected. The Premier added that the Ministry of Health was working closely with other ministries across the government to rapidly investigate the situation and to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. In Dominica, national epidemiologist Dr. Shaladin Ahmed has disclosed that to date there is no positive case of the COVID-19 coronavirus in the country. Dr. Ahmed made this announcement during a news conference which was being held in the press room of the Prime Minister's office. He said they have tested a number of patients over the last 14 days and are all negative. Out of the British Virgin Islands BVI, the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital now has a number of new visitation rules which are geared at protecting its patients against the coronavirus disease 2019. CEO of the BVI Health Services Authority, BVI HSA, Dr. Ronald Georges, said effective immediately, the BVI HSA is reducing the number of entries at the hospital. Chairman of the 15-member Caribbean Community CARICOM grouping, Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Mottley, says it is clear that there are forces in Guyana that do not want to see the votes recounted for whatever reason, as CARICOM announced the withdrawal of its independent team from the country. A High Court judge Tuesday granted an injunction against the Guyana Elections Commission GCOM, preventing it from carrying out a national recount of votes from the disputed March 2nd regional and general elections. Justice Franklin Holder said that the injunction remains in effect pending a hearing today. The injunction was granted to the private citizen Yulita Moore and restrains GCOM from setting aside or varying the declarations already made by the 10 electoral districts with any other documents or declarations until the hearing and determination of the judicial review of the application. The respondents to the court matter are the Guyana Elections Commission, the chairman of the commission, and the chief elections officer. In a statement, Mottley, who is also the Prime Minister of Barbados, said that CARICOM deeply regrets that it has been forced to withdraw the team it sent into Georgetown on Saturday to supervise the recounting of the ballots in Region 4 of the elections. And in St. Lucia, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force has announced that effective today, all masquerade events will be cancelled. There will be no permits issued to host events, and for those who have already received approvals, these will be revoked, Police Commissioner Milton Desir said. The government has taken the decision that all masquerade events will be cancelled. We understand that this decision will have financial implications, but we must do what we can to preserve the safety of the country, Mr. Desir stated. And that's it for our regional news segment. Stay with us for news around the world. Welcome back on to the international news. Coronavirus has killed more people in Italy than in any other country. After deaths, there rose by 427 in a day. The number of deaths now stands at 3,405, which is more than in China, where the virus originated last year. There have been 3,245 reported deaths in China, but there have been questions over the reliability of its data. A lockdown imposed on March 12 in Italy has been extended beyond the original March 25th end date. Nearly all Italians have been told to stay at home, and despite these measures, the number of new cases and deaths has continued to spiral. Meanwhile, Germany's second most populous state, Bavaria, is going into virtual lockdown from Saturday. The country's leader, Markus Söder, castigated people, especially youngsters, for holding corona parties.
Jeder kann einem anderen helfen. Leider sind die Ergebnisse...
Each person can help another. Sadly, according to what the police reported yesterday, many citizens were not motivated. Many people are behaving properly, but there are many others who are still not taking this seriously, who still don't see themselves in a serious situation, and who actually pose a threat not only to themselves, but to others.
Hawaii Republican Tulsi Gabbard on Thursday ended her presidential campaign and endorsed former Vice President Joe Biden, edition.cnn.com says. I know Vice President Biden and his wife, and I'm grateful to have called his son Beau, who also served in the National Guard, a friend, Gabbard said in a statement. Although I may not agree with the Vice President on every issue, I know that he has a good heart and is motivated by his love for the country and the American people. Gabbard had backed Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders in 2016. California has issued a stay-at-home order to residents as it tries to stem the march of the coronavirus across the most populous U.S. state. Governor Gavin Newsom told Californians they should only leave their homes when necessary during the pandemic. He earlier estimated more than half of the 40 million people in his state would contract COVID-19 in just the next 2 months. The virus has claimed 206 lives in the U.S. and infected more than 14,000. Globally, over 250,000 patients have tested positive for the respiratory illness and more than 10,000 have died. Mr. Newsom said on Thursday evening, "This is a moment we need to make tough decisions. We need to recognize reality." California is among the first U.S. states to break in blanket restrictions. Earlier this week, Nevada said non-essential businesses should close for 30 days. The governor's order will allow residents to leave their homes to buy groceries or medicine, or walk a dog or take exercise, but seeks to limit public interactions. And as of Sunday, Malaysia will deploy the army to help enforce strict regulations to control the spread of COVID-19. The defense minister said the move was necessary because people were not sufficiently reducing social contact. The BBC's Michael Bristow reports.
On Wednesday, Malaysia closed its borders, schools and non-essential businesses and urged people to stay at home. But the defence minister said many had not heeded that advice. He said they were still taking their families to parks and restaurants, hence the need for the army to help enforce the rules. In future, anyone who breaks them could be arrested. Malaysia has nearly 1,000 infections, most linked to a gathering of Muslims at a mosque in Kuala Lumpur at the end of last month. It went ahead despite concerns from South Korea that religious meetings were helping to spread the virus.
And that brings us to the end of our news segment. The latest in sports is next.
Stunting. Check TDC, lawn and gardening. In the month of March, you get the best deals for anything to do farm. 20% off. In a March, greenhouse, topsoil, bower mulch and wicks. Just calculate the total. We have pumpkin seeds, so you could plant low fertilizer for your plants them. Oh Lord, we can eat healthy again. In a TDC, you can get anything you need and only a little money spent. So no time bad, man farming. Man farming.
TDC Home and Building Depot supports our farmers. Visit the TDC Lawn and Gardening Agro Department for 20% savings for the entire month of March in St. Kitts and Nevis. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back on to the sports. In basketball, the Oklahoma City Thunder announced on Wednesday that all players and staff who needed coronavirus testing based on the exposure at the game on March 11th are doing well and do not have the virus. Oklahoma City Thunder was scheduled to face the Utah Jazz last Wednesday before it was cancelled. It was eventually revealed that Jazz star Rudy Gobert tested positive for the coronavirus, according to ClutchPoints.com. The Oklahoma City Thunder consulted with infectious disease experts for a recommendation on the players who needed COVID-19 testing based on the exposure at the game on March 11th, and all results have come back negative. The Thunder will continue to work in coordination with team physicians, public health officials, and infectious disease experts while focusing on the health and safety of everyone in their community. Recognizing the stress on the state of Oklahoma's medical system, the Thunder did not use state resources and chose an alternative path for testing of its personnel. In football, Manchester United will continue to pay all casual matchday staff even if the remainder of their season is cancelled or played behind closed doors. The Football Association has announced that all elite football is suspended until April 30th because of coronavirus, but United say their staff's earnings will be unaffected. Old Trafford will host 4 Premier League matches if the season resumes. It is understood the payments total £1 million and cover more than 3,000 staff. The club also says staff will be paid and payments regarding fixtures regarding the payments rather will be rearranged for another date. This goodwill gesture reflects the club's desire to reduce the financial uncertainty facing its casual workforce and is in recognition of the crucial role they play in delivering services to supporters, said the club in a statement. In American football, six-time Super Bowl winner Tom Brady has signed for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after leaving the New England Patriots. The quarterback said on Tuesday that he is ending an unprecedented 20-year spell of success with the Patriots. The 42-year-old then announced today that he is joining Tampa Bay. Brady became a free agent for the first time this off-season, allowing him to speak to rival teams from Monday before the free agency signing period opened on Wednesday. He is regarded as one of the greatest players of all time, having won the Super Bowl more times than any other player in 2002, 2004, 2005, 2015, 2017 and 2019. Brady has made a total of 9 Super Bowl appearances and has been named the championship game's most valuable player or MVP 4 times, both NFL records. He was named as the league's MVP in 2007, 2010, 2017 and is second on the all-time list for touchdown passes and passing yards behind New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees. In more sports, the British Olympic Association says it will not endanger the health of athletes in their preparation for this summer's Tokyo 2020 Games. The International Olympic Committee has said the Games could still begin on July 24th despite the coronavirus pandemic. Athletes have criticized the stance, with Katarina Johnson-Thompson saying training had become impossible. The BOA said it is clearly only wise for athletes to prepare for the Games where it is safe to do so. And in cricket, the Pakistan Cricket Board PCB has charged Umar Akmal with 2 breaches of Article 2.4.4 of the PCB Anti-Corruption Code in 2 unrelated incidents. Article 2.4.4 of the PCB Anti-Corruption Code reads as follows: failing to disclose to the PCB Vigilance and Security Department without unnecessary delay full details of any approaches or invitations received by the participant to engage in corrupt conduct under this anti-corruption code. Umar Akmal was issued a notice of charge on Tuesday 17 March and has until March 31st to respond in writing to the charge. According to Article 6.2, the range of permissible period of ineligibility for those charged and found guilty for a violation of Article 2.4.4 is a minimum of 6 months and a maximum of a lifetime. Umar Akmal was provisionally suspended on February 20th, 2020. Media release can be found there, and according to a media release, the PCB will not make any further comment pending the outcome on this case, according to the BBC. And that's it for our sports segment. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back. The weather tonight, partly cloudy to cloudy with a 50% or a moderate chance of brief overnight showers. The weather tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy with a 60% or a moderate chance of brief morning showers, with the chance of showers increasing late tomorrow afternoon. The winds east-northeast at 12 to 20 knots or 22 to 37 kilometers per hour. Gusts to 30 knots or 56 kilometers per hour are possible in some showers, mainly over coastal waters, exposed coastal areas and elevated terrain. The sea is 1.5 to 3.1 meters or 5 to 8 feet, and the small craft advisory remains in effect. The sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:14 p.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Friday, March 20th, 2020. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, COVID-19, Department of Maritime Affairs issues statement urging boat operators to take steps, and St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party urges Team Unity government to seek assistance from overseas. Regionally, Jamaica records first coronavirus death. Internationally, coronavirus, Italy's death toll overtakes China's. And in sports, Oklahoma City Thunder players and staff all test negative for coronavirus. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Jarvis Brown wishing you a safe and enjoyable weekend.